Brother Ed Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Wednesday, June 8th, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Be aware of the mind. It's always yearning for answers to its illusionary problems, and every answer it finds never satisfies this permanently hungry ego. Your most relaxed self is what brings fulfillment and true peace. It's time to take a bigger vacation and call off the search. Once you confine yourself to this ever-present moment, you become totally complete, whole, and healed, just as you are. The greatest pleasure in life comes from surrendering to what is here now. And within this moment is the transformation from a life of trying, doing, and achieving into purely being. Right now, you can have all the good feelings, love and joy you can imagine. It is all available now within your mind and body. You have a personal, unlimited source of pleasure inside you right now. The amount of pleasure you can experience has no limit and is always available for your enjoyment. This ultimate gold mine of a discovery is found within the deepest realms of your innermost being. Now, the normal pleasures that we are used to experiencing every day happen out of a cause and effect situation. For example, when a delightful thing occurs on the outer world, like our favorite ice cream, then a new experience manifests within our inner world. Taste buds are bursting with joy. Anytime we purchase something we think will make us happy, we get a few moments of pleasure and satisfaction, then merely fall back into the seeking for more of it from another source in the outer world. Whether it is a compliment, a smile, a funny email, or a hug, we've been conditioned to find the source of pleasure that is outside of our physical bodies. The illusion that pleasure is found out there is truly a delusion that makes one powerless, dependent, and a slave to the advertising industries around the world. And we invite you to end the endless searching outside of yourself for quick happiness fixes. It's time you and we all learn how to free our minds and tap into an outrageous amount of pleasure from within our body-mind at any time we desire. The first step to learning this sacred discovery is learning how to welcome this moment of your life as the most special, sacred moment of all. Your mind is the only thing blocking you from fully being here now. To start accessing unlimited pleasure, drop the mind and open up to a state of infinite being. Start with accepting the truth that you are not just this body filled with blood and bones that has a constant flow of thoughts pouring through it. You are consciousness itself. And within that experience, you'll find you are a soul that does not die. Relax into this message so that it reaches every atom in your body-mind. Let it absorb into your being at a cellular level in this very moment of your life. The more you can relax into it, the more open, spacious, and loving this moment becomes. Rest deeply And this universal truth will help set you free. The ultimate pleasure within you comes naturally to you on its own accord. It cannot be forced or manipulated to occur. In fact, quite the opposite is true. It happens effortlessly when you are resting deeply, simply being with everything that is. When you are deeply at peace, totally relaxed with yourself, your life, and everything and everyone in it, just as they are right now, massive pleasure arises. These things don't have to change for you to find peace inside you. You have full permission to relax and allow life to be the way it is right now. Nothing needs to happen so that you can relax deeper. You can simply choose, the soul's choice, to let go of the mind struggle, to change everything, and consciously choose to slow down. Turn your attention within and look deeper inside yourself. This is what all of us haven't truly done yet, and is the doorway to letting ultimate pleasure come flooding in. The deeper we can dive within ourselves, the easier it is to see, feel, and explore the divinity within our being. We can only know others as intimately as we know ourselves. The more open we are to experiencing everything that is inside of us, no matter how ugly, depressing, angry, or shameful it is, the more joy, pleasure, and bliss can enter our being. Those who cry hard can laugh even harder. Whatever uncomfortable feeling that you discover inside you is just a feeling, and it's going to change with time. You might as well experience it while it's here, because the more you resist and avoid it, the more it tends to stick to you. The more you allow for whatever experience you're having right now, the more you turn into the great pleasure vessel that you are. There is nothing more important than finding peace within ourselves. We will merge with the ever-flowing eternal river of good feelings, infinite love, eternal peace, and total freedom when we finally come to rest at the core of our being. Learn to sit quietly in silence. Meditate for long periods of time on stillness. When you dive inside yourself and only find a city of various lunatic personalities living in one big madhouse, city of various lunatic personalities living in one big madhouse without any doors, this is just a good sign. You are simply resurfacing old abandoned garbage, cleaning house and clearing away the emotional muck that wasn't taken to the local dump and not the recycling center. The permanent bliss that we are inside and beneath this enlightening pile of junk within, our inner mess can distract us or motivate us, all depending on our approach to it. So let it inspire you to dive straight into the core of your being. Do not stop to be drained and entertained by any broken, angry, victimized, heartless houses inside you. Look in their cellars and notice what's underneath at the foundation of your being. Once you dig deep enough and wait long enough, you'll strike a small vein of satisfaction within and never be the same again. When you discover that which is truly real, satisfying, and everlasting inside your core, it's very hard to become addicted and hypnotized again by the false promises of temporary outer pleasures. We will be able to rely and really enjoy that decadent slice of chocolate cake now because the temporary joy it gives. You will be fed by an eternal spring of pleasure from a deeper well within. So if you choose, when you choose, this week or next week, the first part of this week's assignment may challenge you in many ways, yet it can create the most incredible, blissful week of your life. Your job is to go far beyond the old limits of pleasure your body is used to experiencing every day. We want you to find and transcend your pleasure boundaries. Every day, start receiving the greatest levels of pleasure in whatever form they come in. Hit all the best categories when possible: sensual, sexual, emotional, mental, and spiritual. If and when you start feeling uncomfortable with your new levels of pleasure after day one, then you're probably going to be an A-plus student. Anytime you hit a pleasure ceiling and start to feel uncomfortable, check inside with yourself and see if it's remotely possible to receive more pleasure. If you can, then keep going. And if not, then choose to stop. Follow the pleasure principle. Always do what feels good. Tune into the sensations inside your body and watch what all happens in your mind. Now, the second aspect to this assignment is swinging the pleasure pendulum deep into your inner world, which will pull the pleasure string at both ends. You'll find yourself living in Pleasureville. Each day, spend 15 minutes deeply relaxing your body-mind. Create quiet time alone to relax your body so deeply that you lose all the senses that it's there. Relax the mind and its agenda to do this or that and feel the state of permanent peace, stillness, and silence at your innermost core. Start with imagining a wave of relaxing and warm, soothing energy flowing down from your head, down into your neck, your shoulders, chest, back, arms, hands, hips, legs, all the way to the toes in your feet. Let all the tension in your body drain away. Notice this being that remains inside your body with no tension, no mind chatter is there. The mind will quiet when you watch this awareness that is always aware. Notice what naturally arises when you are totally relaxed. The deeper you relax inside, the more you can unpack and release the mind's hidden pleasure blocking closets. The mind's hidden pleasure blocking closets. Be very, very, very patient with this process. And soon, you'll experience the ultimate pleasure that comes from simply being. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we choose to do is relax these bodies that we are in. Head to toe, inside and out, through the breath. Now, our breath we take for granted all the time. But in reality, the breath is super powerful. It's omnipotently powerful. When the gods that we are enter these bodies, we take the responsibility for operating them, powering them. And the breath comes online. So when you focus on the breath, easy and slowly through the nose, coming in, easy and slowly out the mouth, going out, you still the ego mind, subconscious mind. You still it, which means you leave it alone. You don't engage with it. You don't entertain it. You leave it alone. And you do this through the breath. The breath is the now. Listen to the breath. The breath is the now. Now, the ego mind does not exist, neither does the subconscious mind, does not exist in the now. That's why we have this tug of war constantly with the ego mind, trying to keep us into tomorrow, the future, or yesterday, the past. But not the now, because it doesn't exist. Also, you will feel and know that by focusing on the breath and being in the now, all the mind chatter that we all have 24/7 isn't there. Also on top of that, all of the programs that fly by like clouds in the sky, tens of millions, billions of them, which aren't ours, aren't there. So being in the now, you're not distracted. But remember that the ego mind is right there, poking you, trying to get you into tomorrow or yesterday. The bodies are like a super powerful electronic magnet, a magnetic sponge, and absorbs everything. Now, most of the time we don't know it because we're so used to it that we store stuff. Tension, stress, anxiety, fear, worry, anger, hatred, revenge. And the body just absorbs it, stores it. And we don't release that. Then we have a breakdown biologically in the body. And I learned this years ago as a massage therapist. Everybody stores things in the body. They store them. It's like this big storage locker. And the subconscious mind, it literally records everything. Everything. It's the Great Hall. It records from the time you enter that baby body all the way through this life. Records it all. Not only that, records all your past lives. And at times plays everything back. Not only you, but everything around you. So focusing on your breath and being in the now also opens the door to the God that you are. Now, it's to practice in real time, being gentle, kind, generous, and humble with oneself, and staying in the highest of the highest high, and the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, deep eternal gratitude. Being grateful opens up the path to the now. It eliminates all of the outside interruptions and distractions. No matter what's going on in your life at whatever time, you can always focus your energy on what you're grateful for. Always. There's never a time where you can't find anything or you don't find anything that you can be grateful for. You're always going to find something, many things, that you are grateful for. Now, we float off. And we all do it. None of us are exempt from it. We're in the now, we float right off. We're somewhere else. You grab onto one of those clouds and we just float away. It's not like we do it consciously either. It's just out of habit. So we get easily distracted. And when that happens, it's not a biggie. You just say, I'll focus on my breath and I'll be in the now. Because we don't have tomorrow. We do not have yesterday. We only have the now. Anybody I've ever talked with and asked them one simple question. Can you absolutely guarantee without even a smidgen of doubt that you'll wake up tomorrow morning? And no, you can't. Does it make any sense for us to live in the future or the past, where all the suffering, where everything happens, a suffering, disappointment, letdown? Or do we put that energy in the now and stay in deep gratitude and being gentle, kind, and generous with ourselves and humble at all times? It's a choice that each of us make. We either do or we don't. Neither is bad. It's a choice. Now, we, each of us, 24/7, send out 60,000 plus thoughts every 24 hours. That's a lot of thoughts. And they all go to the universe. They all go out to the universe. And it doesn't mean that we know every single one of those thoughts, because we don't. Some of them are unconscious. Excuse me. But neither here nor there, we send them out. This is why we get surprises in this life. Like, where did that come from? So picture yourself standing in front of three paths. You're standing on the center path, which is the now. You look to your left. That's the past path, yesterday. You look to your right. That's the future past, tomorrow. Now you notice that the trees have formed canopies, golden canopies over each path, the bark and the leaves and the branches. And you notice that the path itself is a brilliant, flaming emerald green grass. Appears to be grass. You notice that the path on the left is really worn. I mean, you could really tell it's been used. The one on the right, the future, same. It's really been used. Why is that? Because the ego mind does not want you to be in the now. So it's constantly poking you, pushing you, and prodding you, and pulling you to be either into yesterday or tomorrow. Past, future, future, past, past, future, future, past. That's where all the suffering is. Now you notice that the path you're standing on, which is the now, looks almost brand new. Now we all reminisce. All of us do. At different times in our lives that come in. You know, it's not like we're looking for them. They just kind of float in, and we reminisce and say, "Wow, that was I had a good time. I enjoyed that. I could do that again." And we also use it as a reference at times. We review things that we did that didn't work right, and so if the opportunity comes up again, then we say, "Well, you know, I'm not going to do it the same way I did it then. I'm going to see if I'll do it this way to see if it works." And so we'll go into our great hall, and we'll open the door, we'll walk in, turn on the light, and whether you know it or not, whenever you walk into a room, you immediately go to the ceiling and the walls. But the great hall, each of us have one. It's so big, it's so vast that you can't see the walls or the ceiling. Nonetheless, you'll go around to the different shelves, drawers, and you'll pick up a couple of movies and some books and pictures. You'll go sit in an easy chair. In front of you is just your screen floating in thin air. Now, you'll watch some of the movies, you'll read some of the books, and you'll look at some of the pictures, and you'll have a good time. But you don't stay there. You'll take everything, put it in its proper place, turn off the light, shut the door, move forward in life, and then revisit at times. Some of us unconsciously stay there so long that we end up taking that past, we bring it into a future that doesn't exist, we create that future from that past, we relive that past in that future. And this is why a lot of people will say, no matter what I do, no matter what they do, they always seem to end up here. All of us will be tempted and do at times go into the future. Because we want to know. Ego mind is pushing us, tapping on us, poking us, constantly. You got to know this, got to find this out, better know it, got to know it. So that forms an attachment. So we get attached to future events. And then we gain expectations to future events. And so we get hurried, right? And we get gotta get it, gotta know. I gotta know this. I gotta find out from somewhere when this is going to happen for me. It could be anything. You could say, I'd like to know when am I going to be well enough to enjoy my life, or when am I going to have enough money to enjoy my life. All kinds of things. When am I ever going to meet my lifelong romantic partner? Am I, blah, 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 all of this stuff that we do. And we seek external authority at times, astrologers, psychics, clairvoyants, palm readers, tea leaf readers, card readers, crystal readers, there's all kinds. And we'll listen intently and ask, what's going to happen in my life? I want to know this. So the cards are drawn, or psychic or clairvoyant, and they tell you. And then you'll embrace it. In a way, you'll embrace it. And you'll form an attachment to the outcome of it. And you'll have expectations of it as well. And then say it doesn't happen, which is most of the time the case. Because we block our own flow of abundance by coveting what we're expecting to happen for us. Okay? So we do it to ourselves. We don't do it. It's not like something outside of us does it. We do it. And so, we get frustrated. We have expectations and attachments to it. We're let down. How many times, through this life, you ever been let down? You ever been looking forward to something that didn't happen and you were let down? Disappointed. Suffering. Have you ever just had, you intended for something, right, through your heart, mind, and with all of your heart, and it's just one thing that you put out there, and you left it alone. You knew that you were sending it to the universe. You knew it. You had all the trust and faith in the universe and in yourself. So you knew that by sending that to the universe and keeping your vibrational frequency high, that it would happen. Now you didn't care about when, how, or anything like that. You just knew it was going to happen, and the appropriate time through the universe, which does not make mistakes. So, and you let it go, and you experience, and it happens. Now, it may not be you're totally aware of it, but things just start happening, just out of clear blue. And you're like blown away. Wow, this is something else. But you see, you've let go. When you let go is when things come in. When you covet and grip and hold and smother, they're pushed away. Every single one of us, all of us, have a flow of abundance. It's unending. It's been proven many times. But it's a choice we make. When you get angry, you get frustrated. Are you going to take that energy and pump it into those low frequencies? Or are you going to switch gears and put them into high frequencies? Love, patience, understanding with yourself, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness. Are you going to put those energies there, or are you going to do a downward spiral? And we know how long it takes us to get out of those, and while we're in them, it attracts more goop. And we all experience this. So it's a choice. It's being aware. It's being aware to a certain extent. It's knowing. I don't care to spend my energies in the lower frequencies of being angry, frustrated, upset, all those things that we've all experienced more than once. No, I'm going to put it in the love that I am, in the kindness, in the generosity, in the humbleness, and the gratitude. That's where I'm going to put it. And this keeps the vibrational frequency high, and more, lo and behold, more and more things begin to happen for you in high frequency. Now, we all have parts of ourselves, the gods that we are within these bodies. Pure consciousness. Some of the parts of ourselves are asleep. Stone cold sleep. Doesn't mean we don't love them any more dearly than we love the parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake. Consciously aware means that we know that we are of and from the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. Okay, we know this, and we spend a lot of time on our heart minds. And eventually we'll spend all of our time on our heart minds. We're not separate, the gods that we are. We're all one. We'd be 9,000 billion light years away, and we're still all one. All the different species and civilizations throughout existence and beyond are all one. It's the God within the body, not the physical form. That's provided so that we can experience that particular physical form. And the higher we keep our vibrational frequencies consistently, the parts of the gods that we are that are asleep will begin to wake up. But if we keep ourselves most of the time in lower matter frequencies, lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, they will stay asleep. It's a choice. So we're focused on this planet. We're focused on its complete liberation, the gods that we are. Collective consciousness, pure consciousness. However you want to name it, however you want to name it. Higher self, soul. And we know that our frequencies as gods is through the roof. Always. It's always that way. It doesn't drop. Okay? It doesn't dissipate. It is supremely powerful. Nirvana, samadhi, bliss, kundalini, all those energies is the God within the body. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. We're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God, force, love, light, energy, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it grows, expands, and gets stronger Now we form a massive white fire circle of light around the equator of this planet, Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. This light emanates from the gods within these bodies. It is pure, deep, eternal love, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it's flooding, permeating, and saturating this planet. Infinity and beyond. Never ending. With this love, there is no escape. Full liberation in full swing. Now this light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. You could take 1 trillion suns, group them all together, and they would pale in comparison to this light. The light that we all are. The gods within these bodies. Now we begin to ascend above the planet, and we're met immediately with this. It's a massive ocean of glitter. Not like you would picture on this planet. So we tried to describe it, okay? So we take a grand finale fireworks display and laser light show in the ballroom globe, and we bring them all together, except they're 1 trillion times more intensified, and to one massive crescendo, one burst of magnificent light, and that's about as near as we get to describing the ocean of glitter. And we notice that the reflective points are everywhere. So little tiny microscopic perfectly etched mirrors, so we enter them, and then we discover that all of us, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, the gods that we are in our physical form to show and teach and learn with each other. It doesn't matter if it's a pig, a tree, a cow, a horse, a dog, a cat, a fly, a bird. It's a physical form, but most of us are distracted to the material physical world that we created to entertain ourselves. But most of us get so immersed in it that we miss most of that on learning. You could take 2 trees, different varieties. You can take an oak tree and you can take a bamboo tree. And they're teaching us. Bamboo tree bends and flexes in high winds, moves, right? The oak tree, firm, powerful, strong, doesn't bend, okay? So at times, the oak tree teaches us to stand firm, to be aware, to not be trampled upon. Bamboo tree teaches us at times in this life, bend, flex, flow with the life. Don't fight the life. So everything teaches us. We're learning from each other all the time. We learn from each other, those of us experiencing physical form, humanoid, and we learn from all of us that are in other different forms. When you were a kid, did you ever say to yourself, you were looking at something, and you said, I wonder what it would be like to be that? Most of us did. And you can. That hasn't gone away. You go into silence, you focus on your breath, you go into meditation, you look whatever it is, and for a brief moment, you'll know exactly what it is to be whatever it is you are looking at. So we're always learning, we're always teaching, we're always experiencing. How could we ever get bored with this life? Well, because we get attached, right, to the material physical world. And that's where all the suffering is. Expectations. Now we continue to ascend. And we're immediately met, we create these columns of light to remind us the gods that we are in these bodies. Because remember, we have a little bit of amnesia, so it's just a little difficult for us to make comparisons. And so Archangel Raphael carries a column of light that we created that is an omnipotently powerful emerald green flaming healing light. It reminds us, the gods that we are in these bodies, that we are the power of healing these bodies. Then we have Archangel Michael. He's carrying a column of violet, blue, purple flaming light. And that reminds us, the gods that we are in these bodies, of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. Then we meet the white fire column of light. This column of light we created to remind us all, from head to toe, inside and out, that we are protected with a white fire armor. It emanates from the God force, the kingdom of God, the heaven. You in that body. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It isn't like any kind of armor we see on this planet. Far beyond that. So at this vibrational frequency, no demon possession, no lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, no attachments. Completely protected. They can't, at that high vibrational frequency, they can't keep their form, so they stay away. And we're always protected. Yet, only you have the power. That if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through anger, hate, fear, greed, dishonesty, manipulation, hurry, envy, revenge, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough, create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Then there's all kinds of possibilities. Possession, attachments, all kinds of things. Now, you do decide to do this. We have a fail-safe. We created this double column of light, the gods that we are. First part of the column is the purple transmuting flame. This reminds us that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are no more. Then we're met with the second half of this double column of light, the violet ray. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind a purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest high, to the deepest, and the purest of the purest, the eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We then are met with the golden white pink one. This is a column of light, the gods that we are, created to remind us that we are the sun, the sunlight. We are the rain and the rainbows. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the clouds in the sky. We are the trees in the forest. We're the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the soils, the animals, everything. We're everything, everything is us. Now, because of the illusion of separation, when you view a sunset or a sunrise or an ocean front or a starlit night sky, your immediate response is, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Well, the truth in that is that, yes, it is beautiful because it is you, the God in that body. Through the heart mind and through knowing who and what we are, we view that again and we go, that is the God that I am. No matter what it is you're looking at, that is the God I am. And a shift will occur. You don't do this through the head, not through the ego mind. This is only through the heart mind. So we continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step outside that physical form and hover effortlessly above it. The reason we do this is because, number one, we can, and number two, it's really fun. We come into full contact with this massive crystalline light tower. The gods that we are within these bodies created this tower, larger than the solar system and beyond. Now, in the center of the column, we discover a massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere, a very large golden white ball of light. Now, this ball of light, in turn, is surrounded by numerous multicolored rings of light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. This generates a super bright white misty cloud formation, sparkling, reflecting, and flashing. And it's absorbed through our heart-mind. You can feel its warmth come in. It's like a warm embrace that never ends, right through the chest. Now we understand, we discover that the golden white bowl of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And then comes well-being, gratitude, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it, the gods that we are in these bodies, so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, infinity and beyond. What is the golden ocean? It is pure, deep, eternal love. And it is flooding, permeating, and saturating this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe, infinity and beyond. Now, we're drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is a drop, drops of the golden ocean. And the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere. We all created this sphere, the gods that we are within these bodies, over 4 years ago. It holds nearly 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. And every day, 7 days a week, without fail, for over 4 years. Hundreds of millions of us, countless others, on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, changing the very fabric and frequencies of this planet and all life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Increasing the vibrational frequency increases everything. Now, the sphere can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. The meditations grow, strengthen, intensify, expand. So you imagine all that intent from the heart mind, from the gods that we are and the deep eternal love, flooding this planet, permeating, infinity and beyond, nonstop. We are transforming this planet into a God planet paradise. Now you can tap in to this meditative sphere. You can see the planet through the heart mind, focus on your breath, going into silence, stilling the mind and the ego and the subconscious mind. And you see this everywhere on the surface, in the atmosphere. You see this golden white pink. You can see through it, but it shimmers. And so the atmosphere is different hues and colors. It's like the aurora borealis, but much more intense and much more colorful. You see this goop. It's the blackest of the blackest black goop that you've ever seen. And it's literally, it looks like it's being vacuumed off the planet. It's going upward. Now, it is in this golden white pink light atmosphere, and you can see as little flashes appear. And you see it disintegrating as it continues to go up in the upper atmosphere. Now, the sky, we created the gods that are within this body, is a golden white pink light. And it's like a canopy. So any of this goop, this AI rogue goop, this pure evil goop, this corrupted soul goop, is all literally, if it does get that far, it literally flashes and it is completely gone. This is what's happening on this planet. And you tap into it any time you choose. Anytime. And you'll know, it's like the ego mind might try to say, oh, no, that's not happening. You stay focused on the now with your breath, you'll know it through your heart mind that that's exactly what is transpiring. When one person lives every day from what their true infinite potential is, an amazing shift will happen for everyone. A contagious reaction of a new consciousness will occur, and our whole planet will wake up. Everyone will experience themselves as this infinite source. Believe it or not, the one person to start this chain reaction is you. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy, slow breath in through the nose, and an easy, slow breath out from the mouth. Be still. If you're even feeling stuck, if you're ever feeling stuck in this life, wanting to find a way, remember this. The mere intention of being still and silent has enough power in it to generate a complete awakening in your life, regardless of how deeply stuck you feel or think you are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call. And tomorrow, Thursday, June 9th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation